I'm here, just getting something ready. I was just taking care of a last minute thing before getting going. Fudge. Actually kind of tired. It's been snowing all night. There we go. Oh, you will. It snows there every century or three. Just give me a moment. I'm still groggy. Alright. I'm gonna bypass the rocket launchers for right now, because I want to get the ball done for the light, and I need to figure out where and how I can drill the ball so I can put a support rod in it and just make a nice base to put it on. An easy an easy way to tell if it freezes or snows in your area. Look at the roads. If they're cracked and tar patched, it freezes and snows. Maybe not too often, but it does happen. Where did the battery go? I just had it. There it is. I put some liquid mask over the eye as well. Yep, still works. So just feeling kind of groggy today, though. Then after the snow lets up today, it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. Excuse me again. Well, thank you again for the bits. Slide into... what the frack? This is very strange. There we go. Any updates on the other house? Okay. So we're going to jump ahead a little bit, because it's showing me how to put together the wiring. So I need that spring. We'll make it this one. So my eyes have been watering all morning too. Cut that too short to be easy to work on. Let's find out. What said there's no way to do this beforehand. Okay, tweezers. Sorry, I'm not exactly in camera for this. I need the convenience of being able to hold it as opposed to anything else. The instructions say to wrap it. I'm going to try and solder it. See if I can get a good twist in on it just to hold it in place. Like that. Then I'll come back with a soldering iron and just drop a bead of solder right there on it and see what that does. Okay. Tell me that wasn't a cat. Okay. Where did I put... There's my iron. Okay. Excuse me. While that heats up, I will be right back. I gotta get some nice lead. Probably going a bit above and beyond for something like this. I just don't want it falling apart when I'm trying to put it together. You know? I need to see about getting a new one with a finer needle tip. The base on the airfield is different? I haven't really looked around. I was there a little bit last night, but didn't really notice anything. It's still heating up. Come on. What's different about it? I had to throw out the large hunter, by the way. There's too many pockets of resin in the side pieces on it. Oh, this solder's doing some weird stuff. There we go. Some tape. Give me a second, man. I'm kind of in the middle of something. Sorry. There we go. Doing it more just to basically use solder to glue the wire twist onto the spring for the battery. That way it doesn't come off on us. And then that can cool off for a minute. It didn't look like that for me last night when I was there. Interesting. And this will get tacked in right here. Oh, damn it. That didn't work. Thought it did. Didn't. That just fell off like I expected. Son of a bitch. It's my fault for not giving myself more wire. Thought we had that. Get the fuck down here, light. No more messages right now, man. Sorry. Not the best timing. Might be stopping the stream here shortly anyway if stuff keeps going sideways. Okay, that's cool enough. No, I'm not having a good day. Just tell me you grabbed super glue somewhere. Thank you. Okay. Now I have to figure out if this stupid fucking wire goes inside the battery housing or outside of it. Looks like outside. Yeah. Let me get this assembled and in, because this is going to determine the rest of the length of what I need. And this is also annoying the ever-living crap out of me. No, I'm really not having a good day today. Trying to. This is the kind of intricate crap I usually do off stream because I swear and do other crap. But hey, isn't that why we watch? So we can see that, you know, this shit isn't easy. Not always. Even the best of us have a kit that gives us trouble. Okay. So this glues here. I'm just going to use super glue. But I got to be sure I got it right because it also lines up with slots in the bottom ball. Give me a sec. This goes into the notches here, I think. Or is it the other way? I can't tell. Saying the notched ones I'm going to use these as my outside alignment. That and these go here somehow, some way, like that. Okay. But before I can glue that in there, hey, Loston. Is it Friday the 13th? That explains a lot. That explains a lot right now. Sorry, just having some bad moments here. I'm going to glue this in here because I can build the rest of the assembly externally. I'm not going to fight with that crap inside the ball. Oh, it's not so much the kit, just one thing gets you, then another, and then things get annoying, and you just kind of wind up losing it all, you know? I'm trying to get the core new spotter finished, because I also want to figure out where I can put this for display purposes. This goes here. That goes there. That lines up with that. And we just had a little bout of that frustration. One, because I left myself too little wire. Then everything else kind of got in the way on its own way. Thanks again for everybody who's been liking and subscribing on YouTube. If you want to contribute to the channel more, you can come over to the Twitch side, where that's where my current monetization is set up, while we get up to the required stuff for YouTube. Not necessary, but if you feel you want to. So let's finish the battery button. Oh yeah. But the next question is this made for a AAA battery? Might be. I don't know. I'll need this for detailing on other parts. It might be Aries. I'll have to see if I've got one at work. Actually, while we're at it, just to make sure that connection on the spring is still good. Yep. We have light. Because it pushes up pretty far, but not far enough, so you could be right. I think it's a quadruple A. Let me pause this really quick. I'm gonna go see if my wife has made the Smith's order. If not, I'll have her order one. So I'll be right back. Yeah, it looks like she's out picking up our son from his internship and taking him back to school. So she'll either call at the most inopportune time, or she'll come down here when she gets home. I've only recently gotten into it myself. A lot of it is from Star Trek kits. Started off with a Bird of Prey, and then I did the Travel Pod, Runabout. Then I built the 350th scale Enterprise from original series. Then after that, okay, is the chat window from the pause screen locked up on there for anybody else or just me? Oh, so you're kind of messing with things? Okay. And then after I did the Enterprise, I started working on Deep Space Nine, which is still in work. Okay. And I then did the 350th scale refit Enterprise. And now I'm working on the Defiant. You have to make it all yourself, unfortunately. Yep, it has lots of lights. Are we talking the movie version or the animated version? Yeah, the movie version or the animated version? Because I know, was it Mobius a few years back did the animated one as a kit? It would be nice if somebody would release the movie version. I think the only one kit-wise that I've seen, get these lights out of the way, is I think it was Lunar Models that made it back in the day. It was vacuum form and resin kit. I'm trying to be careful when I snap this piece here. It's the button contact that goes inside. There we go. So I'm going to leave this a little extra wire. Than I did the last one. Okay, need that. Once this is done, we should be able to get back on track. But once I get the Defiant painted, because it's lit, it's sealed. I was evaluating what I needed to do last night. Mobius did a film version? When? Link, please. Oh, wait. You can't there. Shit. Instagram. Send me a link on Instagram, please. Because I know they did the animated one. But they did a film version too, I guess, huh? That must have been from the dark times when I stopped going into model building forums, I guess. Recheck continuity. Continuity is good. Doop, 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 doop. But for now, we'll just stuff all this in here and store it. Because this goes in here. I'm guessing it helps if you have batteries in it to keep it level. Or is it my fault? It is my fault. Okay. We'll get that lined up with the tab. I just don't remember seeing it anywhere. You think you would have... Yeah, I just don't remember seeing it anywhere. I don't doubt it now, but... There we go. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to look for that. I only ever knew of the animated one. Okay. And before we get on with detailing, like I said, I want to make a small hole for this. So I can just put it on this wooden base here. Oh, good Lord, Ares. So yeah, he's getting it to show up in the mainstream now. So people on YouTube can see what Twitch is saying. Let's see if people on Twitch can see what YouTube is saying. I'll probably have it at a slight angle and use the battery pod inside to hold it depth-wise. Looks like your test was a failure. No worries. I just need one more drill bit. Turn my heater back on. Like I said, it's been snowing here all morning, so... Mine lives on my desk. I just need to find the bit that is this size. There we go. I think I got it first try. No need to break out the drill for for that. I don't have a pin vise big enough to hold this one either. Yep, just like that. Perfect. I'll probably chuck it in the drill when I have to go into the wood for it, but for right now, I just wanted to get a hole made. That's kind of what this room is in my basement. It's my studio, for lack of a better word. It's where all my stuff is. It's my most people call it man cave, hidey hole, Aladdin's cave, you name it. I haven't gotten into sculpting much, but I also worship at the Church of Aves. I'll get my hand drill out later for when I do the base. Don't know what I'll do. Probably just a dusty desert base with some scrub. Something to, like a long tuft of grass to hide the metal pole too. Okay, so there's that. Alright, let's detail this, then we'll get on the rocket pods and the arms. Mine's in my house, so I don't go inviting too many people in. If you know what I mean. I just try and keep the background presentable. That doesn't mean I've got crap piled off all over the place. I've got it neatly arranged, but it's just where I do all my stuff, just my hobby room. 'Cause that's all it really is for me as a hobby. Sometimes I wish I could do more, you know, in terms of, like, professional level. But that's also why I didn't join the army. One of my big interests is tanks. And if I joined the army, my interest would have become my job, and I wouldn't have enjoyed it. Oh, normally after every project, I do a big room clean. You know, no matter what it is. And I don't mean like rearranging and all that, but I put things away, vacuum, dust, you know, just take time to get everything back to sorts. And it really does help keep shit straightened up too. Yeah, and I really don't do well with that lately. So I'd rather stream. If somebody wants a commission, I'll take one from time to time, but nothing, you know, nothing on, like, stupidly serious kind of stuff. Hell, I think the last commission I did was that, the Bane blade that I magnetized so you could do all 6 possible versions out of the box with it. These 2 springy thing hoses. I said something that was funny. I don't know what it was. That goes there. I'll probably glue these in first. Yeah, my car is actually quite difficult to do a model of. Not because of the rarity, or anything like that, but because nobody does the version of my car that I need. MPC did once back in the 70s, and that was it. After that, it got modified. Out of my face. Ah, brightness. Just giving the glue a second to kick. I could have sworn Fujimi did the Jimny, but theirs might be the 80s version. I know Solway's built one recently on Twitch. Yeah, mine's just a bog standard 78 Camaro. Just everybody does T-top Z28s with the fender holes and all the skirting on it, and they all come pre-molded. So yeah, good luck finding a bog standard solid top, no flare Camaro model kit. They are all Z28 bodies. Your hole? I know, they're basically a hardtop Samurai. For lack of a better description. And you're not working. You're not working because you went too far down in your hole. Well, there's plenty of 67, 68, and 69 kits out there, though. But try finding a base model second gen from the last third of the generation without the fender flares, without the T-tops or a sunroof, and without the Z28 fender intake bits. It's impossible. Like I said, MPC did one back in the 70s, like 78 when it first came out. Then after that they modified it in 79 for the Z28 because that's when the fender flares came out on the real cars. And the body was irreparably modified then. I screwed the pooch on that one, but it's okay. It's machining Krieger. It can be ugly. Oh, kind of like semi-truck stuff, right? You know how hard it is to find most of the typical semi-truck kits? Like one of my next bigger projects I want to do is the Pork Chop Express from Big Trouble in Little China. Italeri makes the right kind of Freightliner as far as the cab and the hood and the chassis. You have to scratch build the sleeper cab. I could have sworn Ertl did a 50s series Dodge pickup. Huh. Could be right. There's one in 32nd scale, but no, yeah, they do all the more modern ones. I actually have the Kenworth rig for BJ and the Bear. They just reissued it. Not with BJ, but not in those markings, but they reissued the base model Kenworth Aerodyne. So if you can find the suitable trailer kit, you can actually do that model again. I do know it was released as a kit back in the day. And what's funny is Big Trouble in Little China was a flop when it came out, so it's weird that they're... yeah. I gotta adjust position. But I know also that there's a YouTube channel that a person made because he owned an original kit from Knight Rider. Well, it turns out that he also managed to find the original general the tractor trailer. He found the truck and the original trailer for the flag truck. So he's got kit and the original flag truck and trailer. And he's restoring the truck and trailer. Hey, Fenrir. To how they looked on the show. Yeah, he hasn't posted anything recent, at least not that I'm aware of. But we'll still keep an eye out. Well, he had the rig for the longest time, but he was still looking for the trailer. And then one day somebody popped up and said, "Hey, I think I found it." And then they went back and they reviewed a few episodes and noted certain details from certain stunts they did and things like that. And it turns out they had indeed found the original drop door trailer. It had been sold to somebody who used it as a dragster rig. And yeah, they restored one of the original ones. It's been sold since. The stunt rig was trashed and they can't find the other one. There were two that were beauty rigs. There was the first season and the third season, and they had the stunt rig. It was the stunt rig that was destroyed. Who's dinging me? Okay, it's the wife. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about all the interruptions today. Well, it's really interesting that any of these are still around. I know the original Airwolf was sold to a company in Germany that converted it to an air ambulance and then it crashed. And I think the same thing happened to the original Blue Thunder. Yeah, it was found just parked outside, rotting away, and somebody managed to buy it, and they fully restored it. It was in Texas, at Houston, for a little while. And then it got moved to, I think, the display that's up in New Jersey, New York area, where they've got the full, like the full Enterprise set for the bridge and everything on display. So we should have some quadruple A batteries today. Well, hell, look at even the Falcon from the original Mad Max. It was slated to be destroyed, and they weren't even thinking of making a second movie. But somebody had the grace of mind to keep it. They had the thought in their head of, I'm gonna hold on to this for a minute, you know? And sure as shit, they found that somebody had kept it intact, and they were able to make the second film. And even the junk for the Falcon they sacrificed for the rollover and explosion in the second film, somebody kept that. It's on a farm in Australia, just sitting there rusting away. I think the guy's since moved it inside because people kept picking at it. But he's got that, and he's got one of the cars from the second film with it. I don't remember which one. But he's got his own little collection of Mad Max vehicles. Seeing what with a hole in the floor? Sorry, I missed something. Let me get some more music going, too. Oh yeah, I think now it lives in Florida, if I remember right. It was in England for a bit, but now it lives in Florida. I could be mistaken. Or it went from Florida to England, one or the other. I would love to have one of those cars, even unmodified. There's nothing wrong with the older Falcons, just the US ones never got the makeover to look like they did in Australia. By the time they did that, we'd stopped producing the Falcon, basically. Some people say, well, you could use a Torino with a kit, and I'm like, nah. I want an actual XB or XC car. Why was it stalling out? Just bad fuel pump? Bad carburetor? Just old car that was junk? Yes and no. You can kind of see some relation to the 70 Mach 1, but not exactly. There's a lot of body line differences. They shared more with the Torinos of the time than they did the Mustangs. But even then, they still weren't the same. The biggest giveaway is that back window notch. So it was driver error. Let's go back and work on the rocket pods. We gotta make 6 of these bloody things. Box, garbage. Polycaps. I can't wait to get to these pieces, but they're kind of like the icing on the cake. Yeah, I was always able to drive stick, I just don't like to. Especially now, my legs can't keep up. But, I seem to be able to drive stick better on the other side of the car. Used to have a little BMW 520i in England. That was a fun car. Life drove it more than I did, but there was times I got to drive it. Gotcha. Yeah, now the store employees do it. Move my heater, it's a little too close. I want it to warm the air, not a specific point on my foot. I almost had the idea of having it firing one of the rockets too, which I may still return to. Have it doing like a barrage fire. I don't know. We'll see. I wish I could get my first car back. It's probably still somewhere down in Phoenix, rotting away. We're going to have to take our little move around break here shortly. I know we've had enough interruptions in the stream today, but I still gotta keep moving around at the right points. Yeah, I had a 73 Dart 340 Sport that was black on black. Had the bucket seats in the front though, not the bench. I'll get all these glued on to the tubes, and then we'll take our little break. But at least it looks like it stopped snowing, and the sun came out. Which means the streets will be nice and clear, and if it rains tomorrow, any salt that was put down will be washed up, so I don't have to park the Camaro. Yay! Spam, 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 spam. No, it's not so much the flash, it's the nubs. I didn't want to use my sprue nippers, because I found that even they can deform things when you're trying to cut it carefully. So I'm just going through and cleaning up the nubs by hand. But depending on how far we get with the stream today, I don't know if we'll be painting, but my idea that I just had may lengthen the project. No, I want to see about maybe having it doing a launch of the rockets. Figuring out a way to do the rocket smoke without it looking too much like cotton, you know, or stuffing or anything like that. Because it comes with the rocket bodies that you're supposed to put in the tube. But now my imagination's getting the better of me. It comes with a base, sort of. It's this plastic thing that it fits into. And it's notched so that way all the other pieces fit into it. It's not that great. I mean, it works. It really doesn't support it very well. At least on the new spotter, it's always wanting to fall over. And this one being more top heavy with the big brass piece here, I'm gluing it to a piece of metal rod and putting it into the ground. I'll just hide the metal rod with a tuft of grass or something. Yeah, just a kind of holder. Just not the best holder given the kit's top-heavy nature. I work tomorrow, and then I will be off Sunday, Monday, so expect some streams then, if all goes well. Part of me wants to take Sunday, yeah, and with the wood base being wider and the more solid metal pin, it'll just be all so much the better for it. I may even retroactively convert the new spotter to the same kind of base. No, I was going to say I've kind of been tossing back and forth the idea of just having Sunday as a me day. But we'll see how the day goes. So give me about 5 minutes, get up, move around, and I'll be right back. I'm back, and we have been joined by an alley monster who wants to be on the counter, or on the table. You know you're not supposed to do that, girl. Hey, little monster, what are you doing? Hmm? Are you the captain now? Is that it? Or is she the captain meow? Hmm? Let me make a space for you, okay? No, your butt. Should I just start a kitty fans? Allie. Allie. Over here. Come on. Good girl. Lie down. Yep, right there. All this space is yours. That's a happy face. Yeah, she's got it good here. Found her abandoned in a snow berm with her brother about 1.5 years ago. They were just little kittens then. I'd like to find who abandoned her and beat the ever-living crap out of him, though. Okay, let's get my parts back out. Yeah, the rocket assembly is actually pretty simple. It's right here. That's really all there is to it. Before I get to any gluing on it, though, I should have done this first. Just chucked them in a drill and done it. And this is just to allow any super glue a better chance to bite on it. Like I said, I still don't know if we're going to do a me day on Sunday or not. Depends if the wife wants to go out and do any thrift storing and stuff like that. If the weather's not too terrible, it wouldn't be a bad day to get the Camaro out and get it a good heat cycle. They are. They're basically Panzer Shreks. They are little bazookas. Now, you don't need to sand the whole cylinder, just where the contact area is going to be. I don't know exactly where that's going to be, so I'm doing a good portion of it. You're not going to try and bite me, are you? You're just going to use me as a pillow? God, I haven't played D&D since high school. That was a long time ago. Well, that and to provide a little more surface area for the superglue to bite into. The fine scratches help a lot. So, I need to get these off first. Just like if you're using photo etch parts in a regular model kit, it's not a terrible idea to gently soak them in a little bit of white vinegar before you start using them. It etches the surface a little bit, they'll glue on better, and take paint better. And if you're going to do seat belts using the photo etched ones, heat them up with a lighter until they barely glow cherry red to anneal them, and they'll fold a little bit more realistically. You're just tired today, aren't you, girl? There we go. Get you in camera a little bit. I know, it's a snowy day. Told my wife the next chair we get better have a good broad back on it so we can get back to having chair cats instead of desk cats. Okay. I managed to get a little bit further on Stalker 2 yesterday. But I think I also hit upon what makes the game not feel quite as good as the others. Everything in it, like every mission you do, everything you do, feels too epic, too big, too set-piecey. And it kind of removes the tension and makes it a boring grind. that's one thing the original had in spades. It was an extremely slow burn game. It did have its epic moments, but they felt very earned. They didn't feel like you play it right now and it's like, oh, I gotta do this now? Okay. When before it's like, okay, I'm finally at Pripyat. It's a big battle. Fuck yeah. No, I play it on console. My computer could probably run it just fine, but it's free on Game Pass, so I figured I would just get it there and play it to see if it was worth spending $70 on. Right now, not so much. There's like 3 games worth of game in this thing, in terms of the story. And I like Stalker games because they are long, but they don't wear you out. You don't feel physically tired from playing them like this one. It's hard to explain. But I'm at the mission where we're doing the assault on the Russian woodpecker, trying to keep them from making it into a new brain scorcher. So yeah, we're assaulting the Durga complex. Is somebody else down here? All I can say is at least go through and play Shadow of Chernobyl, and you'll probably feel what I'm talking about, the difference. Not that this game feels too linear, but it almost does. It's almost like the story is dictating you get from point A to point B too fast. It's not allowing you to just wander around and explore as easily. Even the originals had their, you know, point A, point B levels, but no, it doesn't so much have that. It kind of does because that's how you get in with the groups in the game. But they make more sense, you know. But I get what you mean. There's free play mechanics in a game that doesn't need free play mechanics. And it's almost like the open world is a detriment to Stalker because originally it was smaller open sandboxes that were still big, you know, there's still a lot of room and stuff like that in them to explore. But they were all contained levels. And it just felt a bit more, yeah, you could make your own pathway within the level. Sorry, but you didn't force like you were having to get redirected onto a rail for the story every time. This one doesn't allow you to do that as much. And I think that's the biggest reason I'm having trouble getting into it. Wait, model Plastic cement's not supposed to do that. But the originals had that right mix of open world and sandbox. Waiting for that one person, you're not a real Stalker fan, then. I'm like, been playing it since '07. It seems like today's a slower day than the other day. We had 12 people on YouTube watching at one time. So, let me see something here. But today also got off to a much rougher start too. These. What are you doing? She's got a big habit of nibbling. And she'll do what we call chinning, where she tries to assert dominance by coming up and just putting her chin on you. Well, even the last one was on a Wednesday, which is a weekday, so... I think it was also because I started later in the day, so more people were getting off work. Like right now, I'm on a good 2 hours earlier than I even started the last one. So we'll see. If that's the case, I may have to rearrange my strategy to be either later in the day or much earlier in the morning, depending on where the traffic is coming from. And I'm sure you've got NDAs from the companies that you're working for, but any hints or clues? Let me get 3 of these glued and setting up. It just seems like on Twitch, the algorithm says that between 5 and 10 a.m. is peak viewing on streams there, which kind of tells me that Twitch is almost Eurocentric on its audience. A lot of Europeans watching. But I found that YouTube was better later in the day on a weekday. nice. Allie, you keep scooting closer to the model. What do you... See? There's your little head right here. And I won't deny it, I'm a crazy cat person. If somebody were to ask me if I had the brain worms, I'd probably say yeah. God, these are very spindly. This is also one of those Machine & Krieger models I've always wanted to build. I'm just amazed I got it so cheap, being in the original. If you go on eBay right now, you'll not find a lot of these models for under $100, 110, which is stupid money. Good girl. We're taking a petting break. Oh, you've been fighting with somebody. That was a tuft, yeah. Who were you fighting with, girl? Were you fighting with Frankie? Yeah. You really gotta be... You gotta know what you're looking for to get them for reasonable value. Hey! No bitings. Hey, no! Oh, that's what I've been doing. I found a Conrad suit. No. And I think the Gunter version for under 50. And the going rate for even the Wave reissues when they're new is 50 to 60. So once I get the wife's Christmas shopping done, I'll probably get one or both of them. I lost a lot of stuff in the crash of '08. And the subsequent running around and trying to keep my life above water. And yes, I know I've got an owie from work. It doesn't mean you have to sniff it and lick it, okay? Well, they're all derived from the original PKA suit, the Heinrich, which is based on the Hughes 500 helicopter by Minicraft. They just basically use the 48 scale fuselage tipped it up on its backside and converted it for the Microman legs. Obviously other details, but that's what the base model is. I picked up a Hornies for about 70, which is the main fuselage of a Fledermaus, but with a seat capable of holding a PKA suit. I'd like to get another Fledermaus, but I can't find one for under 120-ish. Big stretch. Yeah, if you can get this one for around 50 to 70, anywhere in there, I think that's a fair price. 70 being a little high, but still fair. The Wave one, it shouldn't be demanding as much money because, to me, it's lesser value. They replaced all the brass stuff with plastic. But Wave has always been expensive. Pretty cool. Just tried to nibble. No nibbles. No nibbles! Send me a link on Instagram. I think there was a unit called a Night Stalker or something like that. This is about equal thirds. AFS Night Stalker. Sounds familiar. There is a Wave one. Wave took some of the newer designs, the post-80s designs, from when Ko Yokoyama got the rights back to his models, and they ran with it. It's like an AFS Mark I with night vision gear and stuff. If I remember, it's got like black and red paint on it. Something like that. That's about as evenly lined up as I think I'm gonna get those. Let's get the other halves on. Yeah, we should get base construction done at least today. Because the rest of these parts are for the ARM units, I believe. The solar panel and whatever that is. Yeah, she got down. She does that. I'm just seeing if she went to one of her usual spots. She probably went to go eat or use the bathroom. I'm really surprised Mittens hasn't come down for a visit. So another thing I'm doing is I'm using my UV oven for my prints to try and bleach the yellowing out of the adhesive on the decals for the Defiant. Hopefully this weekend Aries will get his hobby space somewhat sorted and maybe work on something. You can't keep putting it off forever. That was close. Yes, you do. We're coming up close to another break time anyway. Let me get these two finished. Gotcha. Yeah, I'd like to get back into that, but only so much time in a day, and I've got enough projects in front of me as it is. That part just folded in half on me. Wonderful. Get some more music back up. A little bit of flash right there. Yeah, surprisingly enough, for the age of these kits, they are really flash free. But it also shows that means the molds have had very few runs on them. Because most of your flash comes from the molds being worn out on the corners and edges. Well, just don't go taking long walks at night if it's just even the remotest bit foggy out. I can't talk straight today to save my life. God, Yoda's more comprehensible than me right now. One thing I miss is my family used to have a cabin up in Pennsylvania off one of the lakes there. We used to go to the Hartford Fair all the time, watch the tractor pulls. Yeah, that, and I'm not as young as... Wow, tongue, stop tripping over yourself. Talking in Shatnerian proportions. Just not as young as I used to be either. Let me glue this into here. Because I can always make the hole so I can slide it into the base just fine. That way it'll have just a little bit of a dynamic angle to it. When I go to set this down for the next phase, I would like to put it into the wooden block. So just give me one moment and we will get this figured out. Just to hold it so I don't have to worry about setting it down, bending up the antennas any further, things like that. I don't have my drill on me, but I should be able to just grab that drill bit with pliers and make it work. I think there are other drones in universe that have that. Actually, that's angled a bit too much, I think. We'll see. We'll see how it looks, or how it feels when I get the other antenna on, sticking out this way, and then the other one hanging down. I could always drill the hole at an angle. Yeah, it's much more stable. I think once the big brass arm is hanging off this way, so this goes out this way, but it also means I don't have to lay it on the table right now. Yeah, I'm gonna re-drill that hole at an angle. I don't like that. I can always fill that. Yeah, I'm just not comfortable with how far it's leaning just on presentation. Oh, face tickles. And I can always remove it from the model. I've got some super glue debonder. it's offset. Now we'll stick with the middle hole for now just to keep it up and safe. And we'll figure out the rest later. Now let's get the big arm made first. You can tell this is an older kit as well. The sprues aren't made with the thoughts of nippers in mind. Well, today started out rough, but the string got better. What is that? It doesn't say. F20 maybe? Nope, 21. F11. Now, one thing I have heard about this model is this brass piece likes to split this plastic piece. Yeah, we all made that mistake when we were younger. Oh, I still do. I've got a couple Humvees and things in work. Just not feeling very, ooh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not feeling like working on anything modern right now, you know? I've got one of my father's old kits that I'm going to be restoring here. I can't remember if it got a recent re-release. It's the old Sky Sweep. I'm going to try detailing it up and modernizing it a bit. probably more about dinosaurs than your most average streamer does. But we're not going to go into that. Oh, they never do. So one of the big complaints on this kit is the weight of this brass piece, which I do not doubt at all. So we are going to be gluing it in place in terms of how they make this arm piece all movable and wobbly and everything. Nah. I just need to figure out what equals what for its pose. So glue on that to retain it. Well, Airfix has also changed its plastic formula over the years. What it is now is not the same plastic they were using back then. Okay, this goes into here. Did I bump the camera at some point? I think I did. Thanks again to all the new and more recent follows and subs on YouTube and Twitch. Here's to many more. Get off the paper then, so I can't see what I'm doing. And if anyone feels like it, feel free to share the channel as well. Yeah, not the most physically strong part. I can really see that snapping off easily. It just goes into a poly cap on the side. That's why most times when you see this on display, the arm's rotated down. It's not in the extended position. And I just popped that whole super glue joint. Great, you idiot! I was trying to bend that, not... Let's get a bit of you in there. Then I need 3 centimeters of wire. Oh yeah. Oh, you took a look at my shorts? Yeah. If I could get a screaming Boba Fett, or if somebody made some good files for him, I'd build him. I don't want to build the Bandai kit, though. It's... I don't know. This goes... Aha! Into there. The Slave 1 model I built is the old Ertl kit. I rescribed it, took some of the toyish features out, like the removable panel on the front to expose Han Solo and Carbonite and all that stuff. Added a lot of missing details that the studio model had. Okay, how am I doing this here? Okay. Ah, drop. That's actually pretty good looking. I may have done the wrong hole, but that's okay. Not too worried about it. It's sci-fi, there is no right. I'm gonna put a little more glue on this join here. Make sure that's all bonded really well. So when it dries, it ain't going nowhere. And we're gonna make this part next, which is a lot more involving. I'd just like to know where they got the original parts, because when they were kit bashing this, this wasn't a commercially available photo etch part. This was something they found. So, do you have a raid tonight, Ares? And welcome back, Rights. I didn't notice the name change, sorry. Maybe you could start planning out your hobby room shenanigans tonight. Centimeters of wire for this one. I still need to finish up the alternate version of Roppy from Nikkei. she took a tumble. The cats got up where they shouldn't have been and came back down in the morning to find her on the floor. So. Nothing to warrant a reprint, but enough to warrant repair and repaint. Whoa. This as well. F16. It does, which would have been something commonly found in Japan in the 80s. Even here in the 80s it would have been, but even there even more so. So this goes down onto there. Yeah. Which I think damn near everybody had at one time, no matter where you lived. Almost like the internal antenna part. Nest. There you go. I remember when I was doing the leg piston tubes on the Königskrot, the big one. They were made of an acrylic tube, and I was sitting there watching the tube split and crack in front of me because it did not react well to superglue accelerator. Let me get this up a bit more. Stop chopping off the top of my head. Because I had to glue some cast resin pieces onto it, and I was having trouble getting them to, you know, stay in place, so I hit them with accelerator, and I could just watch it spiderwebbing and cracking. So, well, and at the time, a $350 resin kit, you know. we're going to do this a bit weird because these are small holes that have even smaller things that plug into them. Make it a larger part and I can line it up easier on the part here. There we go. I think I'm going to put the super glue on the copper part. Line up better, please. Which again would have been for an AM/FM radio receiver built into it. So it makes sense that it probably is some form of radio piece. The kind of thing you'd have sitting in a junk drawer that you'd take apart to do, you know, something like this. It really is. And nothing's really made with these kind of solid state parts anymore either. I'm going to leave the rockets out until after. Because I don't know if I want to have them launching or if I want to just have them set inside. A little bit Empire Strikes Back probe droid, a little bit, you know, weird Japanese aesthetic. A lot of it, oh, I just found all this sitting in my drawer, so let me throw it together. I know the head of the new spotter, which is the same as the head on this, is made from, I think, an old SE 1/9 scale, I want to say, German helmet for the front dome. And some other parts and a lot of putty. Something doesn't want the super glue to set, so we're going to make the super glue set. I really think 9 centimeters is a bit long for that, but I'm not the one who did the design. Oh yeah. I'm glad the new Battlestar got a lot of love in model kit form. I've actually got a model of the new Battlestar signed by Edward James Olmos. So that one goes in there. This one goes in here. There's 2 more coils of wire I have to make to go from the arms here to the body there. But that's what we're looking at. Maybe I should find a way, instead of painting this, paint the outside of it, but then maybe put some liquid mask, maybe polish this before I paint it. Put some liquid mask over it, so when I peel it, it'll have the bright gold solar panel look. This goes here as well. So yeah, there it is. Base assembly complete. As much as I'd like to keep going, we are at 3 hours almost. And I'd like to let some assemblies dry before I paint them. I'm going to have to take a lot apart too. So the missiles are going to have to come off, arms are going to have to come off, backpack I still got to do some work on the seams. He was Gaff from Blade Runner. He was Jaime Escalante from Stand and Deliver. I know how I can fix this. All I gotta do is bend the damn wire into the base. Okay, so hold that there. Where's my square pliers? Square jaws, where'd you go? There they are. Yeah, Edward James almost was everywhere. You just had to know where to look. that's too far the other way now. So we're going to do the safe thing. Pull that out of the model. I can always re-drill and clean out the hole. And I'm going to take this off for all the handling. Okay. Alright, so that went too far. But I think we're going to call it a stream. We'll let this cure overnight, and Sunday or Monday, depending on which day I stream on, maybe both, I might take Sunday off. I need at least one personal day a week, you know. We will get to painting, which should be pretty fun. That'll give me time to think on if I want to have it launching the rockets and how I want to possibly do that. We shall see. But thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks again for the bits earlier on, Aries. And yeah, look forward to possibly Sunday, if not Monday. I'll post up on the community page on YouTube what day I decide to do. So that way anyone wanting to watch can come in and yeah, have a good time. And see y'all later.